Interior Ministry disputes the allegations that Albania is the country of origin for marijuana, as reported by the Italian anti-drug report, though the opposition continue to accuse the government and police of involvement. The use of plastic bags has decreased after the entry into force of the law banning them, though as they are still being used, traders of the new bazaar have launched an awareness campaign and are providing environmentally friendly options. Summer brings an increased fire risk, with Elbasan's tourist area of Kodra Kastra of particular concern, especially considering the old and unsafe resources available to firefighters there. Good evening, it's 6 o'clock on Saturday the 14th of July 2018. Welcome to the English edition of Aura News. My name is Alexandra and I'm here to bring you the day's top stories from across the country translated into English. 2 days after the report from the Italian anti-drug squad, which declared that Albania is the country of origin of marijuana supplied to Italian markets, the Deputy Interior Minister, Vodo, dismissed the charges. According to her, Albania is no longer on the map of drug cultivation. Also, Vodo, during the meeting with police structures in Leja, emphasised that the results in 2018 are much better than in 2017. Albania is no longer on the map of the countries that cultivate. The results have been very good since last year, and we are not only in keeping with the 2017 standard, but we are many times better, said Vodo. But unlike the Interior Ministry, the Democratic Party accuses the Rama government of trying to conceal the facts of the anti-drug report. According to Democrat Gent Strazimiri, the report clearly states that Albania is the country of origin for the majority of marijuana that enters the Italian and European markets, and that involved in these criminal groups are also police officers. Most confiscated drugs, roughly 95%, were caught off the coastline, in territorial waters and along the maritime borders. The expansion of activity in the Albanian groups is also evident. This is the truth for anyone who can go to Google from the phone and simply do the collection action to extract the amount of drugs released from Albania to Italy, even passing also from Greece and Montenegro, said Gent Strazimiri. The Democrat states that, according to the Italian authorities' analysis, the amount of marijuana seized by Italian authorities was cultivated less than 6 months ago, despite what the Albanian authorities claim. Prosecutors have argued that they need to postpone deadlines as they await letters from neighbouring countries following requests by the Albanian authorities to obtain information. An Aura News journalist learned that the prosecution has sent 3 requests to Italy, 2 in June and 1 in July. Within the next week, file prosecutors will be in Italy to recall most of the defendants, including Moisi Habilaj, who is also known as the drug gang captain. From sources, it has been learned that prosecutors of the file have strong suspicions that the former Interior Minister, Samir Tahiri, has abused his office and has committed corruption in the framework of support for the structured criminal group led by Moisi Habilaj. It has been learned that prosecutors discovered some photos during the summer of 2017, where the former minister is seen travelling in a black yacht in Lecce, Italy. What the investigative group wants to learn is who the yacht is owned by and in whose company the former minister has been on this journey. Despite the efforts of prosecutors on the case, the former minister is completely free with passport in hand. Tahiri is no stranger to media attention, who have been following his every move and determined that he is spending his time caring for bees and horse riding, activities which even the former minister himself have no trouble in referring to with irony. The works for the bypass of Tepelena have been inaugurated. Prime Minister Edi Rama declared in his speech that this project is very important for the area. Rama said, among other things, that in autumn we'll begin the work on the bypass of Vlora and Fier. We are talking a strategic site for the entire national axis, from Fier, Gjirokastra, Kakavia, but also of strategic importance for the further development of Tepelena. In October, work will start. Fier's bypass will be ready for the next tourist season, as well as that of Vlora, which is a more complex work and will take even more time than the one of Fier, said Edi Rama. The head of the government accused the opposition of irresponsibility in drafting projects, citing here the Tirana Elbasan project, which requires intervention. We make inaugurations, not like others who start and then flee, leaving the road unfinished, said Edi Rama. Rama suggested that the process has begun generating interest in the construction of Saranda's tourist airport. We have begun the process to make all the necessary assessments to build Saranda's tourist airport, said Edi Rama. While Infrastructure and Energy Minister Damian Jiknori said investments were focused on areas with economic impact, as he warned more checks on the implementation of infrastructure projects. A full reform of this authority for full project management, project supervision, public-private partnership management, said Damian Jiknori. The value of the investment for the bypass of Tepelena is 2.87 billion lek, and the project is expected to be completed within 2 years. They are forbidden by law, but plastic bags continue to be used in markets across Tirana. The new bazaar supported the government's decision by launching an awareness campaign and providing environmentally friendly bags to consumers. Traders say they have started using biodegradable bags, sacks and paper, depending on the products they offer. In many markets, consumers are now obligated to pay 10 lek for their purchase, despite the fact that in the new bazaar, traders say they have so far given them for free. Off camera, the other traders claimed that there are some left of the bags with which they have made supplies. According to the law, if entities continue to produce plastic bags, they can be fined 100,000 to 150,000 lek by inspectors on the ground, but consumers are excluded from the fines. According to the Democratic Party, Prime Minister Rama had an early mafia plan to collapse the National Theatre. From the Blue headquarters, DP Group advisor Guzman Bardi said that in 2017, Eddie Rama removed the National Theatre from the protected area in order to build towers and launder money derived from drugs and corruption. The Democratic Party has proved throughout these days that Eddie Rama, in any public function that has been held and for 20 years in politics, has had only one purpose. That is to destroy the historic and cultural monuments of Tirana, to build towers as a means of laundering money and earning millions of euros, said Guzman Bardi. The Democratic Party even published some documents that they say proves Eddie Rama used the Prime Minister's power to support the mafia corrupt tower building plan. The first decision was made by the government in April 2000. The decision shifted the boundaries of the protected areas, said Guzman Bardi. The Blue Party declared they are not against the construction of a new National Theatre, but the release of public property with the sole aim of receiving corrupt profits of around 205 million euros. The DP's director again called on the President not to decree the law. Tirana's municipality continues investing in new bicycle lanes in the Lake of Tirana area. Mayor Arion Veliai inspected the work and used this case as an example of how Tirana can be transformed, while referencing the debate around the new theatre project. I remember our first lake project, the playground for children. I remember the movements. Then it was called Do Not Touch the Park. Today it is called Do Not Touch the Theatre, but it's the same thing. The question is this: if we do not touch things by hand, how will we change them? So all this spirit of resistance is change like the spirit of those who continue to use the old phones with buttons when the rest of us have smartphones in the world today. The question we have today is, will we continue to modernise or remain hostage to some nostalgic obsession, said Arion Veliai. Regarding the runway and bicycle lanes around the artificial lake of Tirana, Mayor Veliai stressed that the municipality is continuing work in various areas of the city for dedicated bicycle lanes. As soon as we passed the rains, we recovered the time lost by the weather and moved quickly to deliver the new bicycle lanes. As you have seen, there is room for everyone. We have dedicated lanes only for bicycles painted in red. We also have pedestrian lanes for those who just want to walk. We will also ensure all signage is installed appropriately. What is the most striking of all, though, is the amount of space we have created around the lake park, said Arion Veliai. The risk of fires in August is increasing due to high temperatures. Kodra Krasta in Elbasan, which is also a tourist area, remains the most at risk to fires. But despite this fact, the fire department in this city operate with an old fleet of vehicles. The cars are old, in working condition, but without safety, said Taya Allah. But despite the problems, the head of the fire brigade emphasises that they have taken measures for the tourist season by preparing a ready-made group for any alarming situation from residents or tourists in that area. Effectively, at any moment, we are ready. Besides the day shift, we also have a group that is in readiness to help our colleagues, said Taya Allah. Due to high temperatures in the first 6 months of 2018, 47 fires have occurred in Elbasan, which included forests and some houses, but without causing considerable damage. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join me again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of Aura News, thank you and have a lovely weekend.